we don't even, until they're in, to me, like that's, we're worried about coaching and, once portal season.
Trey was talking about what we do, and he was talking about how he kind of committed himself to running himself accountable. What have you noticed out of Malik so far this offseason? You also think maybe he was a little bit underappreciated by
anybody
some
who's
of the other
evaluating it. Listened to a podcast the other day about.
Well, I mean, I don't think you can look at it in that light.
Worry about your own team.
What he has done, he's physically put himself in a better position to play at a high level. I thought he made a hell of a jump from his freshman year to last year. That was a nice jump. You think about him playing a whole lot of minutes because he couldn't stay out of foul trouble. Then he learned how to stay out of foul trouble and stay on the floor. And his numbers grew. We benefited from it. But now physically, he has really committed the workout, his eating habits, all of his body's changed. And he's playing summer play was pretty good. He's playing pretty good basketball for us now. Just hope it's not just carry over into when it really starts.
Hey, Coach, Trey was talking about Kanan. Well, Miles and Trey were both talking about Kanan and his just dynamic ability to score. What kind of an impact do you think that part of his game is going to have for you guys this year?
Well, again, we have a number of guys now that can score the basketball. It's just doing it the right way and making sure you don't run off and leave your teammates. I mean, it's still a team game. But Kanan has come in and shown that he can defend on the ball and he can score a little bit for us. So that's a bonus, I think.
What's important to a player, what's not important to a player, does that fit where
Miles has shown that, we know what Trey is capable of doing. We just got to get him back healthy and 100% playing.
And then also, quite frankly,
but I mean, I like the pieces that we have. Everybody's working to try to do the right thing. So, I mean, that's kind of nice to see.
What has allowed Miles to just like very early on kind of put a stamp on the leadership piece of that position, in particular the ability to communicate with teammates, to lead teammates, even for a guy that obviously is relatively new to your locker room?
Well, again, that was something when we were recruiting him that I talked to him about. I mean, we got to have leadership. That position requires leadership. I mean, you got to demand respect from your players, and then the players got to respect what you do on the floor. And Miles has been a nice addition because he's a game changer with his ability to push the ball up and down the floor and make shots. Again, I got to get him where he doesn't run off and leave everybody behind. I mean, he still has other guys on the floor that he's got to try to make better.
I think he said that the two of you bonded over your love of the Cowboys at breakfast at Uptown Cafe.
Yeah, I mean, our Cowboys are struggling a little bit right now. But he's a big Cowboy guy too, and we're kind of hiding a little bit, trying to get our team back on track.
Miles has talked about how he thinks it's important to be an extension of you on the floor. Have you had those kind of special conversations with him as what you want in terms of game plan is how to execute his point guard?
Well, this summer I kind of, in summer play I just kind of watched and tried to let these guys bond and get to know one another. They did a lot of things off the court. And then I just watched him play. And yes, you do have to, point guards do have to be an extension of the head coach. I go back to my NBA. Fino was a good extension. When I recruited Fino, I knew what I was getting. And he had to learn and grow as a freshman. Because again, make no mistake about it, the college game is different than the AAU and high school basketball. So. Yes, he's got to be an extension. I've had some pretty good point guards that I've had the opportunity to coach at the high level. Jason Kidd probably being, and Chris Paul sitting at the top in that regard. They have to be an extension of the coach.
There was a lot of talk from the players recently about how much bonding there's been off the floor. Do you think that's unique to this year's team more so than recent years?
Yes, it is unique. Because when you add, the first year I think we added 4 or 5 players. The year after that was about 4 or 5. And then last year we added 7 players, and now this year 7. So I think it goes a long way when you're talking about getting together. I mean, they've done so much, from picnics to bowls and fishing, you name it, they've done it. And I've tried to stay out of the way to let them kind of be themselves. And I think it's been great so far.
I want to say that Trey mentioned that when you all were kind of this spring in that process of trying to make a list of adding guys in the portal, that he had a list of guys, that you guys had a list of guys. It was kind of like a streamlined talk. Why was having that player input important for you?
It's important. It's like my NBA days. If I made moves around Carmelo Anthony, which I made that last year, that we were really good and won the division, I made 8 moves, personnel moves around him, Amari, and Tyson Chandler. So you have to sit them down and include them. They like to know who you're going to bring in. Gallo had his list of guys, and we struck out on some of his guys, but the one guy he did have on the list was Goody, Luke. And, we didn't make any moves on Luke until he decided he wanted to go in the portal. But we kind of treated, the portal system when we started the journey this summer right after the season, like we do in the NBA. We put a group of guys that we think can help us, and you go out and you try to recruit them. That doesn't mean you're going to get them. I mean, I struck out on a lot of guys. And some of the guys, like Bryson Tucker and Malo, kind of fell in our laps, and we were able to close those deals.
Were the players more involved? Were the players more involved, do you feel like?
Well, Trey was. Trey has he gets that latitude. He's been with me from day one. Him and Anthony are the 2 last survivors, based on when I came in here. They also were the 2 that didn't raise their hand when I asked who was going to stay on board. And now they're still with me, so that's a nice thing.
What do you remember Trey saying about Luke Goody?
About the portal?
About Luke Goody, what do you remember Trey saying?
Well, he's played against him. He's competed against him at Illinois. I mean, the kid can shoot the ball. And he's been everything we thought he was, coming over. So it's a nice addition to our ball club.
Coach, where's
Well, again, the guys, Brad did a hell of a job with them in Illinois. They won there. They won a Big Ten title under Brad. So, he brings leadership experience, which we need, like Miles and Kanan and Bryson and Gabe, Jakai. These guys are all young players. So you're going to need leadership at the top, direct traffic, to make sure that they're doing what they're supposed to do.
You coached at the NBA level for a while. Is there any players you've coached or even just seen that Miles kind of reminds you of?
Well, I got a little Iverson overtone. I coached Allen in Philly. There's a little Iverson overtone in terms of how he plays a little bit. Allen was, I think, pound for pound, Allen Iverson is the best goal scorer that's ever played in the NBA. I think. It's very important. I mean, we've been trying to get there. I mean, I thought I had it when I had Jalen and X. I can't think of who the other point guard we had at that time. We had a couple of them finish it. We had one more. I can't remember who that guy was. But anyway, we look at college basketball, teams are winning in the backcourt. They're winning shooting the basketball. I think we've addressed a lot of those problems. The time will tell once we start playing and see where we lie as a ball game.
With the shooting, Goody's probably one of the better players you've had in the NBA since Billy Cotton. Are you going to try to run similar sets with
Yeah, but we didn't run a whole lot for Miller. Goody, we will. You know, because the makeup of our team is totally different. You know, I mean, we was trace tracks and driven at that particular time early on. Even though we ran more pick and rolls than we did post the ball. I mean, guys probably don't realize that, but we did. The last 3 years, we've run more pick and rolls. But you got to have shooters around pick and rolls for it to be really effective. So we'll do some combinations of sets, and then we'll open the court up a little bit. That's kind of how we'll play.
Coach, how's Ja'Kai doing with his health? You mentioned
He's
earlier.
doing fine.
Can he go every day?
No,
yet?
he can't go every day. And that's because we won't allow him to go every day. You know, we basically are slow walking him back. But the days he's been out there, he's been pretty impressive. Probably the best explosive athlete on our team in terms of playing above him. He's scary how good he is in that regard, but we just got to get him back fully healthy, and he's not there yet.
Mike, with the two bigs, were you able to play that space in the big scheme that you ran so much?
Well, again, a lot of it's going to depend on if Malik can step out. You know, Malik has been playing out on the floor a lot. From this summer's play up until now, and can he consistently make some threes for us? Well, if he takes 2 or 3, can he just at least make one? Because we got enough. We're shooting a number of threes now as I speak. You guys are probably happy about that, but you still got to make them. But you know, it will allow us. You know, he can still play in the hole some. We take ball out. Play some 5, and then we can really go small with Mac and Goody to playing together, because they will say they're our 2 best shooters right now in terms of shooting. But Gabe has been shooting it well, and Miles and Kaden has been scoring the ball well. So I mean, I think we'll have enough scoring. My concern still is on the defensive end. I just know that's where you win at a high level.
It's never really been, since you've been here, the balance schedule. You would have produced as a player. How often you play teams, who plays who and win. How do you navigate a conference where you do see so few opponents twice and there's more travel considerations? You know, just things are so kind of different team to team.
It's like the NBA, man. The quicker you can get your team. I remember back in the early days when I played, you know, we used to go west and play 6 teams. And you would struggle probably those first 2 or 3 games because you weren't acclimated to making that long travel. I think as quickly as we can get guys adjusted, and we go back west, they're going to have the same problems coming east. You know, the quicker you can get your team to adjust on those long travels, the better they're going to be as a basketball team. And, you know, the 18 teams is what it is now. There's 10 teams. Hey man, you got to come and play, because every team is well coached, and the talent level is off the charts across the board. So, you know, we just can't take no nights off. That's kind of how I look at it.
I said that Bryson talking about maturity, like as a freshman, has really stood out to him. Would you agree with that, or are there some ways you see that on or off?
Totally agree. You know, he's kind of reminds me of Fino a little bit. It's just his demeanor. You know, I think a lot of that is because he didn't play AAU ball. Daddy Mama kept him away from him. He just basically trained the old-fashioned way. And you know, it's been a nice carryover for him. Does he have a lot of things to learn? They all do. But boy, he's shown at an early stage right now that he belongs.
I think guys like him and a few others maybe make some like lineup flexibility more than you've had in the past?
Yeah, I mean, I got a lot of flexibility. My problem now is who's going to play. You know, we got enough talent, you know, and it's going to be based on what you do. You got to come in, you got to put it in the game, you got to play. You know, you got to produce.
How much of that lineup
No, it's going to be, it's practicing. We try different combinations. You know, we'll have a couple tune-up games with Maryland and Tennessee, which I think the Tennessee game will be a test for us because Lawrence is a hell of a coach, man. We always put out good teams, and they'll probably be ranked this year too as well. So, you know, he's kind of looking forward to it as well as I am, just to kind of see what our team's doing.
The small ball lineup you mentioned is even something a lot of fans are anticipating. Have you kind of figured out kind of the tools in terms of who's going to be at the five and who's going to be
Not
the
yet.
guards on the
You know, we're still tinkering with that. You know, so I have no idea at this point. And a lot of it depends on who's in foul trouble. You know, we got to look at that as well. So.
Like you mentioned, you got so many new guys in the spots. How do you make it all work together? It's a big mystery nowadays.
Yeah, you got to keep working. You know, practicing, watching film. You know, it all goes hand in hand, man. It's not easy. I mean, I've done it. I did it in Atlanta, and I did it in New York. You know, and the best players will rise to the top, man, and force you to play them. And unfortunately, you know, I can't play everybody, so got to keep competing to see who's going to play.
What do players do to impress you the most to make it to where it's like, gosh, I got to play him. He's doing A, B, and C well.
Well, I mean, again, you just play defense, rebound the ball, be unselfish offensively, help somebody else to get better offensively. I mean, there's a lot of things that determine that.
How's it going?
And practices, they've been very, very competitive, man. Very competitive.
What are your thoughts right now on how much you think Ballo and Renew will be on the court at the same time?
Don't know. Only time will tell.
Ballo's not a guy that's played like more than like 25 minutes a game.
He's plenty. You know, he doesn't have to play 30 minutes, not on this team. So, I mean, the fact that he's only played about 25 minutes, hey, we might keep him at that number. I don't think Ballo's ever complained about one thing since he's been with us. He just wants to win.
Miles and Cameron have both talked about their ability to defend the ball 94 feet. Have you considered allowing them to kind of get that full court man pressure
That's
throughout
what
the entirety of the season?
That's what we do as a team. I mean, when you lose Xavier, who was great at that, Gabe became pretty good at it. You know, I mean, now you got Gabe, Kanan, and Miles that can press up along with Bryson. That can allow you, and Gallo, that can allow you to move out up the floor and do some things differently defensively.
Is there, when you have the roster turnover you did last year and this year, is there more uncertainty kind of in that first month for you, kind of going into the season?
So then again,
When you had the roster turnover you've had the last two seasons, in November, is there more uncertainty than you would like just about how the final product will kind of look?
well, the good thing is, you know, you got some pieces back that you're familiar with. I don't know what uncertainty is. My thing is, I just think that we got to come out blazing. We got to come out playing at a high level. And there's no reason why we shouldn't. It's kind of high. Last year we had some. We won a lot of close games early. There's teams that, you know, everybody thought we should have just blown under the gym. But we could have lost those games, and those guys, the Williams, the Gallows, McKenzie, they found ways to win all and where. And I'm just hoping this year that we don't put ourselves in that position. We got to come out and play truly at a high level for 40 minutes each game.
What goes into playing a fast-paced game? Do you coach that? Is it a conditioning thing?
Yes, conditioning plays a major role, but your style kind of changes. You got to be open. And I don't like turning the ball over, but you know you might have experienced some turnovers, so you got to give them leeway and not, you know, be so forceful because they turned it over because they're playing so fast. But that's the downside of playing fast, because you can also turn it over.
How would you compare Ballo's protector compared to Trace?
He'll block shots, but not at that level like they did. Those guys, Ware was longer, Trace was more explosive. But it took them some time. I mean, again, Barros has blocked shots. He's shown he can do that. So he's a big body that can plug the hole, and he understands defensive concepts. So I'm pretty happy about that.
All right, thanks, Coach.